Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Shabbat this morning. The Parashot that we're discussing about this morning is Tazria and Metzora. And this morning I have a subtitle, and the subtitle of this morning is Spiritual Tazria. Spiritual Tazria. That means because the word Tazria is used, people call it leprosy, but in Hebrew it's not leprosy. You know, because in the people translation you can see they have 3 diseases. You know, but if you look at it, some people just in the English translation just say leprosy, but in Hebrew it is not leprosy. We have 3 kinds of disease like that. We have cyst, we have bihar, and we have bihar, and we have the final one which is sepahar. The sepahar, bihar, and cyst. So these are skin diseases that the Torah is talking about. And so therefore, this morning, we're going to discuss about those things. Yesterday, when we were discussing about the Shabbat, my wife was saying, Rabbi, you know, like, there is no more, Tazria. I said, yes, if I see that there is no more Tazria. Why? Because we have, we have some advanced understanding in medicine now, right? We can be able to counteract all those things. But let me tell you that the Word of God is still alive. And what people have to understand is the spiritual Tazria. You know, not only of this physical one, right? But today, in the 21st century, people are living dead. What is, if we want to use the word leprosy for Tazria, right? The disease leprosy comes from a bacteria, right? That eat up the nerves in the extremes, in the fingers and in the toe, and they kill them all. And the person who's a leper does not feel a pain. He doesn't feel, because those extremes are gone. So there is no nerve ending there. So the same thing here, if you look at it, if we want to relate that in the spiritual realm, there are people that in their spiritual life, there is no what, that nerve ending is no longer there. It's dead. And so therefore, they are technically like, they live, but looking at them, they are not living, they are dead. They are living there, because they are not immune to what any danger. If a danger comes spiritually, they can feel it, because there is no nerve cell there. You know, they can't feel, because to them in their head everything is hunky dory. They cannot see the danger that is coming, because spiritually they have no eyes. They can't feel a spiritual pain because they have no understanding of what is going. And when that reflects in their physical life, they begin to wonder, what is going on in my life? Of course, because you cannot see what is going on spiritually. Because what happened in the spiritual world will surely come to reflect in the physical realm. And this is exactly what the Torah is telling us about Tazria. He said, Tazria is a spiritual disease that comes out in the physical flesh. It is a spiritual disease that comes out in what? In the physical flesh. Spiritual Tazria. Every week as I sit down to write a weekly message, I scratch my little, I have a small little library at home. I scratch my little library searching for words of the Torah that reflect some incident or situation that occurs. Blessed be the Lord. I have a small decent library at home with many resources to pull from, but nevertheless a challenge. When we walk into a room full of Sephorim meaning holy books, we are usually on our feet already, and there is no need to stand up for the Torah that is in the room. This contrast with when we are sitting in the Shabbat shore or in the synagogue, and the Torah scroll is what is moving around. We need to rise for the honor of the Torah. Not only do we stand with the actual Torah scroll when it's moved, but when a sage and scholar enter a room, we stand, for we consider them as a walking Torah scroll. Why did I bring this small opening scene? I want people to understand the purpose, the reason why we stand up when we take the Torah or run, right? It is a respect for the word of God. It is for us to honor the word of the eternal one. Because the Torah says, and God write the Torah with his finger, right? On the stone, with the finger, he wrote it and gave it to who? To Moshe Rabbeinu. So it's a kind of a respect for the Holy One, blessed be he, for us when we kiss the Torah, when we touch the Torah, when we embrace the Torah, we are saying, we love you, we honor you, because your word is you. It's not now, in this century, where somebody speaks with one mouth here and with another mouth, he defends what he just spoken now. In my village, or when I was growing up, I'm telling you, there was not, you can never say, I'm buying a land and you have an agreement. There is no agreement. Just the word of mouth. Okay, I'm selling you my land, they exchange money and they bear, and there are witness. They bring a witness, and that is it. It's enough. Word of mouth. And people believe and people stand by that word. Okay, from here to here, that is where the land is. Okay, and that is it. Or I'm selling you a home, I'm selling you something like that, my ram, or my. It's just easy. But in our days now, it is not like that. Because when we speak, immediately we do the opposite, or the opposite of what we just spoke. So the purpose of the Torah is for us, when we rise up, is for us to do what? To honor God. Now, coming back to the message of today. Ṣaraːath, the mysterious plague, is a rebuke straight from the Holy One, blessed be he, sent as an admonishment to the afflicted. Contrasting the mark of Ṣaraːath brought with it a physical, social, as well as psychological ramifications and consequences, in addition to the issue of purity. In reality, Ṣaraːath was a spiritual ailment that had physical manifestation, rather than the other way around, that people think it's a physical manifestation that had a spiritual things. No, but it is a spiritual affliction that has a physical manifestation. Since Ṣaraːath rendered the one afflicted impure, the meṣora, which is the person that has Ṣaraːath, is called meṣora. The meṣora, being in a state of impurity, needed to be separated from the general population, taking up residence outside of the city. What am I trying to tell us in this place is, first of all, I want to explain the word to admonish. That means the word admonish in English can indicate as, for example, say a duty or obligation. Number two, or to express a warning or disapproval. So here, God is not punishing you. No, God does not punish nobody. I don't believe in it, that God punishes somebody. God doesn't have the time to punish you. You punish yourself. Because the Torah, I said, thou shalt not do this. I said, no, forget about that, I'm going to do it. So when you receive the consequence, I go, oh God, you punish me. How can God punish you when God has already warned you ahead of time, don't do this? So when you now go and do it, and you receive the consequence to your action, I say, God is punishing me. How is God punishing you? That is the consequence of your action. It's not a punishment. God is trying to tell you, my friend, what you are doing, my son, what you are doing is not right. Come back to the way. So so admonishment is to say, return to the path. God cannot admonish someone who is already in the path, right? Because you are in the path. But when you drop away from the path, God is saying, my son, come back to the path. And then you come back to the path, everything is fine. So here God is admonishing you, telling you, come, return. I'm not agreeing. God is saying, I'm not agreeing to what you are doing now. I disapprove your action now. I want you to return back to the path of righteousness, to the path of justice. And see here that a meṣora is a man that is afflicted with Ṣaraːath. That means a leper, for example. So in Hebrew called a meṣora. So looking at it here, what I'm saying so that, say, being in the state of impurity, being in the state of Ṣaraːath, someone who is afflicted with Ṣaraːath needed to be what? Separated from the general population, taking up residence outside of the city. And we can see that in the Haftarah that we just read in the book of 2 Kings. Those people are separated from what? From the people, because they don't want contamination in the society. Right? The same thing here, we can see that Yeshua HaMashiach was what? Was separated from the people. He put on upon himself our affliction. He put upon himself our diseases. A man that is pure becomes impure. Remember in the sacrifice, as I said, in the sacrifice of what? Of the red Adamah, the man, the Kohen, who used the ash to cleanse someone that is unclean, himself become unclean, while that person become clean. So here we can look at that analogy. The same thing here, that Yeshua being clean, right, touches the one that is unclean, and make him clean, and himself become unclean for our sake. Right? So the Metzora went about their daily life with what? With torn garment, uncut hair, and uncut and unkept hair. A covered upper lips, and called out impure. Right? The people will be calling out upon them, impure. Move away from him. Don't touch her. Don't do this and that. Went away from the abode of those with the mark of ṣaraːath. Then there the shame. Everyone knows that the mark of ṣaraːath was an affliction sent as a word, as an admonishment from the Holy One, blessed be He. The mark of ṣaraːath thus become by its very nature what it is intended to be, a social stigma, a badge of humiliation for all to see. The same thing happens to Yeshua HaMashiach. When he took us on the cross, impure, a shame, right? Now, and what? A bag of what? Of humiliation. He was humiliated before the people, right? Beaten, right? And we can talk about it now, right? Because yesterday when I was just thinking about it, we can talk about it, like nothing much happened. But if we put ourselves in the shoe of Yeshua, that we are the one taking those things with a thorn, with the blood coming out, being beaten, being humiliated, being torn naked. I mean, the clothes was torn, right? Everything, and you are walking on the major road, and all the people were spitting on you. How will you feel? How will you, as a human being, feel? You even prefer to die than to pass through such a thing, right? Such a great humiliation. Yeshua said, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. Because he has foreseen what is going to happen. He saw those humiliations, those enormous things that is going to happen. He doesn't want to pass through it. But he said, let it be so, because that is the way it is written. The will of God shall be done. I can't say, no, I don't want to do it, because I want to tell the people, I want to show the people, I want to, God, the Godhead, to understand how I love these people. It is our love that He gave Himself for the people, for His creation. We want God to see that there is something good about these people, that I will give myself in their place. So I want us to that if we didn't pass through all this humiliation, but He passed it through for us, that we might learn an example, so that we might be able to follow the right path, to follow the path that He has given us, that He has created for us. You see, it's not hard. You are not the first person that is passing through the path. That is what I'm trying to say, right? The path is already being done for you. What we have to do is just to walk. If we are the first person now, yeah, it's a hard work. Now, you need to clear the bush, with axe or with cutlass or with or if you are sophisticated now, we use bulldozer, right? Or with tractor. Even though with that, you still have to sit and begin to move all the path, to clear the road. But you don't have to do that. I don't have to do that, right? The path is already done. What we have to do is just to walk. Yes, it's tight. Yes, there's some thorn by the side that if you don't walk back, if you don't walk straight, you might tear yourself because of the thorn, right? But the path is done. It's not hard. We make it hard for ourselves. we put things that God doesn't want us to do, we just compound them in the Torah and give it to the people, let them swallow it. But Yeshua said it's easy. I beg the path for you through my what? My self-sacrifice. Then you can follow me and everything will be fine. Right? So, same here. Can you imagine the remorse that the meṣora, I mean the person that is afflicted with ṣaraː, the leper, will eventually come to feel due to their plight? Surely it would be enough torment to bring even the most stiff-necked individual to inner reflection and thus repentance. Even though you are the most stiff-necked person in the world, if you pass through such a torment, if you pass through such an humiliation, I'm telling you, you will have an inner reflection. That is what we call, that people call now, like for what we call, let's for example, in the school, what the children are doing, they call it what? Bullying. Have you ever seen a bully? When they bully people at schools? When we were young, when I was going to school, I experienced that in my life and never forget. That is what made me, because I'm a natural stammer, I stammer naturally, right? Now it's good, I can talk. When I was young, I can't even talk. I thought it would take me 10 minutes to call the wall apart. It's so hard for me. And at school, they make fun of me. And I like rage. The native Ethiopian, I begin like, you see on my leg is bruised. Like, we fight like lion. Fight and fight. No, they come every day, they bring me home to my grandpapa, complain. Because my grandfather is a chief rabbi, right? This guy never listens, he fight every day. I said, he's making fun of me because I can't speak. My grandfather said, what did I tell you? Keep your mouth shut. Do not. Because a child is a child. The bully was too much. When we go to school, we call ourselves all Ethiopians, no? We go to school, the native of the land, the Ethiopians, they point finger. These are better Israel, kill them. They stone us. They throw stone at you, right in your head. Because they say the people are not for them we are so human beings. We are like, they call us blood liquor, that we leak blood. That in the night we turn to hyena and kill the Ethiopians and we suck their blood. And people believe that's stupidity. How can a human being turn to a hyena and go and kill somebody and come back and become a human being in the morning? It just sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Right? But people believe in it and they act upon all those nonsense. And they begin to beat people, fight people, kill people, just because of some hatred that they have towards their own fellow human being. Anyway, so this is, even though the most hardcore person, right, will feel a remorse because of this kind of separation. As Sage told us that Tazria as a disease actually comes from the speaking of ṣaruwaː, that is speaking of evil against your brother, against your sister, against your husband, against your wife, against your fellow. God doesn't want us in any form of in any shape to speak gain, to speak evil of one another, because a man that is made in the image of God, if you agree that we are all made in the image of God, why must I speak evil against him or her? If there is an issue between me and him, or between me and her, I express it, I go. This is it. But not for me at the back to take a knife to stab him or her, and in her presence or in his presence, I laugh. As if we are friends. But actually, I hate him to death. It's not good. The Torah says that is the thing that destroys a community, that destroys a family, that destroys an individual. And because of that, God gives ṣaruwaː. God gives a what? A leprosy. So to say. So now, can you imagine? So can you imagine the embarrassment, the degradation felt if you have been wrongly diagnosed with ṣaruwaː? So listen, remember in the Torah, the Kohen Gadol will do what? The Kohen Gadol is the one who go to what? Who go to diagnose the person that has ṣaruwaː. So the Kohen Gadol is a spiritual leader. The Kohen Gadol is a doctor. It's not just a word. It's not just a spiritual leader. It's not acting like a doctor here now, right? And also a Kohen Gadol is not only acting as a doctor. A Kohen Gadol will also act as a what? As a judge, because in the Sanhedrin, the judge, and also before God is our word, is our advocate. Is one that advocates the Kohen Gadol, because when they come on the day when we're having Yom Kippur, on the day of Yom Kippur, he's acting as an advocate. He come, make the sacrifice, say, God, please have mercy on these people. God, don't touch them. God, heal them. God, bless them. He's advocating for you and for me. And God says, okay. I bless them. Everything is done. Everything is fantastic. So he can see the role of Kohen Gadol. It's a lot of roles. The role of the Kohanim is a lot of work. So here, he's saying that when that person has such a disease, the Kohen will come and look at it. Right? See, okay, let's quarantine him or her for 7 days. After 7 days, quarantine him or her. After that, okay, see, it's pure. Or when they say, it's what is infected, and they now send the person outside of the camp. So nobody wants to be misdiagnosed by an incompetent healer or a doctor or some other kinds of health professional who mistake a physical alignment for the mark of ṣaraːath. Therefore, as a spiritual disease, the diagnosing of ṣaraːath fell under the jurisdiction of the Kohen rather than that of the health professional. The Kohen was meticulously trained in the diagnosis of ṣaraːath. In fact, the Torah even provides us with an example of where a physical alignment or ailment could have been mistakenly for ṣaraːath. In Leviticus chapter 13, verse 13, Vayikra chapter 13, verse 13, we are introduced to the case of someone whose entire body has been engulfed with ṣaraːath, a condition that results in them being pronounced pure. This begs the question, why does partial coverage of the body with ṣaraːath cause impurity while being entirely engulfed render one pure? It doesn't make sense. A part of the body has a ṣaraːath, and the Kohen Gadol say you are impure. It's not right. And the whole body is covered with ṣaraːath, and the Kohen Gadol say you are pure. Well, what do you think about that? Because for me, it doesn't make sense. I think the half want to be say you are pure. Why the whole want to it's too much, run away. But in the case of the Torah, it's the opposite. The whole body is clean, go with ṣaraːath is good, while only some part of the body go with ṣaraːath is not good. So Leviticus chapter 13 verse 13 describes a depigmentation of the skin over most of the body. The physical ailment which corresponds most closely to this symptom is called vitiligo. You know the vitiligo in medicine, where you see some part of the body that is white because they lack melanin, right? Because when you are born, so what God is saying, if you see something like this, the person is pure. Don't consider him as what? As ṣaraːath. It's not impure. That's what the Torah is telling us. But many people say, okay, this is ṣaraːath, because the skin is level. It's just that particular part does not have the pigmentation. Maybe as a result of what? Maybe as a result of genetic genes or something like that. But God is telling us, don't run away from such people. They are clean. That they cannot infect you. What's happening to them is genetic pigmentation, or they don't have that particular gene in them. So because I've seen a lot of people that say, back when I was at school, that say a guy that the mouth is black, right? But the old man like this is white, right? And these two places is white, and they do what? They bully him. They call him raccoon because here is all white and here is all white. You see, I brought him back again to the world to bully. The guy, he didn't even finish school. I'm telling you, he left. But the bullying was too much. People laugh at him every time. So there are people that are think that they cannot stand those bullies. So the issue is that such people, you don't have to run from them. They are not. They don't have ṣaraːath. They are what? They are clean. So the condition is due to a simple loss of pigment in the skin, and apart from the presence of white patches, the skin is normal, thus justifying the Kohen to declare them very pure, that they are not unclean, they are clean. However, if the person with vitiligo developed raw flesh over the white patches subsequently to being declared pure by the Kohen, they were suspected of having developed ṣaraːath. If there is an under skin, if the normal skin, if the part is lower than the normal skin, then it's an issue now here. Therefore, Leviticus chapter 13 verse 13 is informing the Kohen how to differentiate between vitiligo and ṣaraːath, in addition to informing him that vitiligo does not make one impure. The vitiligo does not make you impure. Actually, you are pure. You can come to the synagogue, you can go to the temple, you can do like a normal human being. It's just because there is a lack of pigmentation in that particular area. However, we would do well to remember one of the lessons that mark of ṣaraːath, or that the mark of ṣaraːath convey. The closer, both physically and spiritually, we are to the glory of God, the dearer the consequences when we mess up. Understand that? I repeat again. The closer you are to God, the closer I am to God, both physically and spiritually, the dearer the consequence. If you mess up, if we mess up. Remember the saying, to whom much is given, much is expected. Right? The sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, what's her name again? Miriam, of a higher level, a woman of high spiritual level, can degrade herself to speaking gay against her brother. She face the consequence. Hard one. If me, I do like that, I speak to against Moshe, I'm telling you, God, he doesn't understand. God won't do that. But you, that you are of a higher understanding, and that you know that this is wrong and you are doing it, you face the consequence. The same thing with you and me now. We know the Torah. We understand the Torah very well. If we messed up, we face more severe consequence than the man who is on the street who has no idea of what the Torah is saying. So that is what the Torah is telling us, that we have to be very careful. Being closer to God, both physically and spiritually, is good. It's enjoyable, it's nice, right? You have a lot of goody out of it. But remember the other side too. If you messed up, no, it's instantly. You feel it. Then ask God, God have mercy on me, forgive me, God will bring you back again. But the other people on the street, they can do it and go scot-free. But at the day of judgment, they will face the consequence, but it won't, it's not instantly like you, because you know the truth. And the truth that you know will always set you free, make you different from among them. So finally, the history of the Hebrew people has been one of divine admonishment, followed by divine forgiveness, all due to the fact that as a people, we still have not heeded our true calling. Not even the gulot, I mean the exile, has been the mark of ṣaraːath upon us. Forced to wear distinctive clothing and badges, placed in ghettos away from the residential quarter of the locals. We as a nation were given the truth on Mount Sinai by the Holy One, blessed be He, the Creator and the Master of the universe. The Holy One, blessed be He, gave us the Torah, gave Israel the Torah, with the intention of making them into a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. By being a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, we become a light to the nation. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 6. May the Holy One destiny for Israel, or the Holy One destiny for Israel, is simple. It's not hard. Very simple. Come, be mine, be on my side. I am your creator. I design you. Be on my side, and I will make you a light to the rest of the world. That through you, all the people under the sun will come to know me, the true and the living God. The mission is not hard. It's not complicated. It's simple. But we make it complicated and we make it hard. Because, as Yeshua said, because of our what? Our tradition and culture that will override the Torah. No, your tradition and culture should not override the Torah. Torah should be the one overriding all things. Anything under the sun, the Torah should override it all. If the Torah says this, and they tell you to do this, and the Torah says that it is the opposite, you do the opposite. Don't do what they tell you to do. Because the Torah is true, and the Torah is life. So this is what we're discussing about this morning. Metzora is the man, is the woman, is the person that is afflicted with ṣaraːath. ṣaraːath is that disease. And the spiritual ṣaraːath is what we'll talk about this morning. Yeshua was made as a meṣora for our sake, so that we can be healed, so that we can be clean. All the humiliation, he carried them. He took them upon himself so that we can walk free with our head up and with our chest high. I remember in the military, when we march, they tell you they cannot march like this. They say, well, what is wrong with you? No. When you are marching, your head up, your chest high, and why? Because you are proud of your nation. You are proud of the flag that you are wearing. Like saying, I'm going to defend my people. And the enemy sees here, oh wow! They do what? They bow, because you are proud of who you are as a person, as a people. So we have to be proud of who we are as the children of God, as the students of the Torah, as Bnei Israel. Very, very important. Don't put your head down. Don't let the world say, hey, these are the Israelites, kill them. No. Don't put your head down. Stand upright. Put your head up. Put your chest up. And be proud in your God. For you know He is your salvation. They can't do nothing. They can shout. They will do nothing. But He is down there defending you. Shabbat shalom. All right.